Hey guys, this is Justin here from Metallic Acid Customs. My camera is very dusty at the moment. I've been hard at work on the 570X mod from made by Corsair, and this is for the Corsair case mod which they have going on. And basically I've been doing a lot of cutting and a lot of cable routing and a lot of thinking as well. I think I've sat down and looked at this for roughly 10 hours before I could decide on what I wanted to do with the cables. I am using a brand new PSU from Corsair, and this is using their Type 4 cables. Using the Type 4 cables is quite a pain in the ass, and that is because they have decided to include these caps. 1, 2, 3 caps on the 24 pin, and there's actually one cap on the 8 pin, which is up here, hidden behind on the other side of the panel. Basically what that means is that it is a pain in the ass to do any type of sleeving on these cables. Basically what I've done here is these rounding holes, there's 1, 2 and 3. I actually do not want to use those. I want to cover those up and make the inside of the chassis look very nice and sleek. Basically what I've done is I've routed my cables from the connectors behind the motherboard, and it creates like a very tight loop and very little cables which can be seen. And I tried to route the cables in behind the motherboard all the way down between the motherboard and the motherboard tray, but that unfortunately did not work because the 24 pin is too thick. There's too many cables, I should say. So what I've done is I've actually cut out of the motherboard tray this cable channel. And what I will do is I will use some cable strips, cable ties, and just tie those up. Now this is kind of the configuration that I want. I'll have the cables sort of flowing down, going from a right angle going down. These ones here will go from a straight right angle. Focus. Straight down. Chuck a left hand turn. Chuck a right hand turn, and then go down as well. All of this back panel as well, all of this back panel here, I actually wish to cover with an acrylic plate or an aluminium plate, and that will sort of cover all of the cables, cover the back of the motherboard, which I don't like to see, cover all of these. Well, these are the SSD mounts, which I will not be using, and also covering a lot of the cable mess, which will be downstairs here. This panel will be from the top all the way down to the bottom of the chassis. And for this power unit, the PSU, what I'll do is I'll cut out a small section so that you can actually see what type of power unit it is, so how many watts. And in behind there, I'll put a strip of RGB lighting, LED, so that you can actually see, and it'll be nice and lit up, and give a little showcase down the bottom there. As you can see, these 3 holes will be covered over. I am not sure if I will use the stock cable cover. I'm not sure if I'll be needing it yet, so we'll see. I might use it, I might not. I'm leaning towards using it because I kind of like the look, and I want to keep some kind of originality, like original chassis parts in the back here. And yeah, you've got my radiator mount with the 3 fans. You'll have 3 HD 120s at the back here, nice and lit up. So what I would do then, move you around a bit, flip the chassis around, then we can have a look at the front side. So this is the Gigabyte X99 Designer Designate, whatever it is called. And what I've done is I've temporarily just removed the stickers from the heatsink 1, 2, and removed the I/O shield and the sound amped up sound shields. I think I'll paint those. I might actually create a panel which covers this entire section so you don't see any of the PCI lanes to PCB or heatsink. So what you can see down the bottom here, I'll zoom in. Now this is something that Corsair should have done in my opinion, and there is a small gap in there. I'm not sure if you can actually see it. Bring this one closer. Here we go. There's a small gap there. It's a hole that I've cut into the PSU shroud. And basically what that allows me to do is route any of my cables for the front I/O, for USB 3, for HD audio over here as well. So those cables will pop up nicely from the back here, from the bottom here, and they'll just be routed along the PSU shroud, instead of having everything routed through this cable grommet hole. I didn't really think that was a nice solution when it came stock. So, the cables then, very nice and compact. They're just tucked in behind there. Can barely notice that there are any cables in my opinion. We've got that 8-pin up here as well. Oh, that's maximum zoom. Time for some filmography here. Check this out, guys. Just turn the fluidness off a little bit. There we go. Ooh, nice. And this will basically, well, I'm actually considering covering up these as well. So I might create some kind of bracket which goes along the top and goes along the side and covers over all of those connections. And what they will actually give us a really nice stealth look. These cable grommet holes on the right hand side of the motherboard I'll cover over completely. I might create something like this out of aluminium and have it so it just kind of covers over. So I really think that gives a nice aesthetic. But obviously I'll have this extend all the way over to the radiator, which is here roughly. Yeah, that's it guys. Cheers for checking out the video. Like and subscribe. Let me know if you like the idea of the cable management that I come up with, and if you have any tips or suggestions, then let me know and I will see if I can implement them. Cheers guys!